Alright, so somebody asked me this question, sent me an email. Alright, so I'm going to answer the question. Title of the thing is, what are your thoughts on new body armor for sport fighting? Alright, so here what the person said. I know you're against MMA, but just saw this on the news earlier today. I guess some company came out with body armor that has built-in sensors to register damage from weapons to the body if say you weren't wearing armor. I googled high-tech armor to change martial arts as that was the tagline I heard on the news this morning. Never got to see the actual segment because had to leave, but yeah, what's your thoughts on this? Seems they'll just be able to advertise more violence now that they're talking about the armor's use for televised weapons fighting through an article I read. Alright, so basically the body armor, and integrating potentially like televised weapons fighting through the use of these body armor. I mean, look at where it's heading. It's just basically heading towards gladiators. Gladiators are like the real violence. I mean, just hardcore fighting to death with weapons. And this is like how real fighting would be. Like with weapons and all that. Maybe even multiple offenders and all that stuff, right? So the body armor, if it's there to protect the individual, then I see it as a good thing. It's like football, like wearing a bunch of armor or just a bunch of equipment to protect the safety of the athletes. The body armor is, if it's designed to protect the safety of the athletes, then I agree to that. And that would be more, it's not really realistic, but it would be more of a real indication of like what the real martial arts is, which encompasses like everything. It's not just like, it's not like revolved around a bunch of rules and no weapons and no multiple offenders and all this other stuff. But at the same time, people they're not going to be able to move as fluidly in that armor, and they're going to be more restricted, and it's just they're wearing armor. They're going to think that they could take more damage than they really can. In actuality, in a real fight, they'll just it'll probably be done in just one hit. But with the armor on, they just keep going on and on and on, and that's just not realistic. It's like basically what boxing is, like one punch could have ended it all, but then they just keep going to 12 rounds because they got these huge gloves on. That's not real. So like it's not like it's anything new. I mean, these people are starting to head towards what the fencers do. They put on the armor and then they use the sword, and they do the point sparring, whatever. That's how it is. Or the kendo, they put on the armor and then they go hardcore with that wooden sword, right? And see who's the winner of that. So it's not like I'm opposed to it. It's just what sparring is, like sparring at high intensity with protection. I'm not opposed to that, but at the same time, it's like basically going like paintballing, like paintball guns. They put on the armor, put on the face mask, and then you do the paintball gun. That's realistic, right? But it's still not the real thing, and you don't want to go to the real things. The real thing is just too dangerous. So I promote a healthier, safer method of training. And if this body armor makes for a safer training and more realistic approach to dealing with combat, then I promote that. Like it's protecting the safety of the athletes. Just like I stated, what the football players or but the thing is obviously going to be like very expensive, but It's just heading towards the gladiators. We're not going anything. This is nothing new. It's just going. We're just going. I feel like we're just going backwards in life. You know, it's like they had the gladiators, because I saw this documentary last night. The gladiator thing was over 2,000 years ago. It's nothing new. And then now we're just going back to that. You know, when this is not where the martial arts is supposed to go. It's not supposed to go backwards. It's supposed to go forward, like forward to spiritual. You know, so it keeps going forward to like more and more ways of lethal killing. And then it comes to the development of firearms, where it just kind of equalizes the playing field between the weak and the strong, between the men and the women. You know, now a woman could kill a man just as easily, just pull a trigger. A weak person can kill a strong person just as easily, just pull a trigger. So it equalizes the playing field. So then now it's kind of like, okay, we've come to this like ultimate way of lethalness. Now what do we do? Well, you're supposed to transform use this training method as a way to transform your spirit in order to head towards like peace and love and compassion. Like, let's not go to war anymore. Let's focus on working together and harmonizing. You know, let's just accept each other as equals. That's what I believe the martial arts should be here for. You know, is like a way of transforming the spirit. You know, that's where it should head towards, not backwards. Okay, you know, you go to the guns and you go to the ultimate equalizer, and you go backwards, back to the gladiator days, and then you just go back to the violence of trying to prove to see who's stronger and who's better. It's just a bunch of nonsense. It's just like fighting for entertainment. I guess that's what I have a problem with, fighting for entertainment. If you're fighting for entertainment and there's really not much injury involved, then it's okay. It's kind of like playing the game Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter or Soul Calibur or all these, you know, Tekken. It's like playing fighting games. Nobody's getting hurt. Okay, that's fine. But when you start fighting for real, you know, boxing, cage fighting, Thai boxing, whatever, now you're actually hurting each other. That's not good. But now they put on this body armor and there's really not that much injuries. It protects the people that are participating. Then I'm not opposed to that. Okay, that's cool. You know, it's just like a different way of sparring. You know, if they want to do that, they want to promote that, that's fine. But I'm just opposing like fighting over ego and pride and hurting each other, you know, and then basically calling that martial arts and influencing the society to do the same. I'm opposing that. That's what I'm pretty much opposing.